Oh, David live in Columbia, man.
You don't know nobody that live in Columbia.
David Hampton, class 86. I know you don't.
Dave who?
At the Bunny Ranch.
Why you
Dave retired from the military, right?
Dave
Yeah, I
Hampton?
think so, yeah.
Are we live?
Mariana, what's up,
One
man?
second, I'm gonna count you down.
Okay.
Smith, what's going on, bro?
Trying to sit up proper.
Right, posture.
5, 4, 3, 2.
What's up, everybody?
Dion,
It's
how you doing?
Thursday night, the best night of your life.
Everybody.
Candid Talk Radio on intellectualradio.com, where we're here in the studio, where we're bringing you the latest
Thirsty,
topics,
what's up,
the
bro?
hottest gossip, and we are political analysts. We doing big things here on Candid Talk Radio. We got to my left, my girl, my love, my baby, my cousin.
86,
Oh,
that's what's
it
up.
is.
It's that what,
Hey,
86.
y'all, happy
Wrong school, but that's
Thursday.
all right. We still got love for you.
Hey, my wonderful mentor, Latasha Watson, prophetess Latasha Watson, that is.
Hey, Prophetess Latasha Watson. Great to have you tuning in live to Candid Talk
Hey,
Radio
son.
on intellectualradio.com. And to Tasha's
Yeah, I
left,
know, because you
we
could
got
sure
the
didn't,
next
Nate.
congressman
Hey,
for
everybody.
District 7, Mr. Tracy Jennings, for Congress
Glad to be here.
in 2020.
Rob, what's
All
up?
right.
And to his left, we have CEO and president of the Bunny
Bunny
Ranch,
Ranch, woo, woo,
Mr. Dion Washington.
woo. Hey, Dion, welcome back. We
Whoa,
missed you
whoa,
last
whoa.
Thursday.
That is
How you
amazing.
put that over there?
Amazing.
Hippity hop, hippity hop.
Hop, hop, hop. It's right next to Thursday, Easter.
No, not quite.
Are you gonna say good
Hey,
evening to the
nephew.
people?
Hey, what's going on, free world? How
Hey,
y'all
Yolanda.
doing?
Hey, Georgette.
Welcome.
Welcome, you guys.
You came back this Thursday. You must have had a good old time.
Yeah, this was nice. I'm looking forward to it. I put this on my campaign Facebook page, but last week is on my personal page, and everybody was saying hi and all of that, but
Aren't you fancy?
ain't nobody said nothing yet. So,
So
Did you welcome me
did you
in?
let them know that you were going live?
no, I
So
didn't.
sometimes you have to do it
Oh,
like
okay.
right before you go live to say, hey, you guys,
Okay.
I'll be on Candid
See, I'm
Talk
learning.
Radio.
All this is new to
What's
me.
up, bro?
Yeah,
I'm learning,
but as
so.
long as you're live,
Yeah,
if
somebody
you-
will peek in.
somebody
They'll
will,
pick it
they'll
up,
catch it
right.
up and see
Okay.
you.
Hey, cousin
Sister
Lakeisha.
Toyin, how are
hey,
you, my
sweetheart, How are
love?
you?
So we here. It's been so nice outside. It's
Francine,
like
what's up, mama? Check me
67
out. Check me
today?
out. See me?
today. By my house, it's 67
see me?
degrees.
Got you, Francine.
Yesterday it was snowing. We had
Did we have
like
snow
You guys
yesterday?
got-
Because I didn't get it.
It
I
was
was in
in the
Schaumburg.
city. In some spots in the city,
Really?
it was snowing. I saw people posted pictures like, "Really, Chicago? Is this what we're doing?" And it was,
Right.
Wow.
Yeah,
you
I
know,
worked in Schaumburg. I looked out the window. I was going to lunch. I said, "Oop, nope, not going out there." It
Hey,
snowed for about an
my
hour.
sister Ebony, all the way from Detroit. Detroit is in the
Hey,
house.
Ebony.
Yeah. So, hey, my brother Michael Anthony, can a sister get her watching
Willie,
her shirt
what's
this
up, bro?
weekend? That's all. Can a sister get her watching her shirt this weekend? That's all I'm asking.
So what
Can
did you
a
think
sister
about last
get
week's show?
it?
I enjoyed it. Just the way the show is set up. You guys take a topic and just give your honest opinion about it, and I think that's what we need more of today.
We give our
So,
candid,
okay, candid, honest.
candidly speaking.
Keep it. What's up,
So
mama?
don't be honest.
Oh, it's honest. But it's candid also.
Right, we're not responsible. But what's
Hey, brother
happening
Love,
is
it's
our
like
responsibility
all the way
is
down
going on with the
in
flow.
Brother Levi Cobb,
Okay.
class of 76.
And now
What's
that
going
Dion
on,
is
man?
He
never
is
know
not
what's
on your
up, boy?
feed. He is on my feed.
I'm looking at him right now.
I'm looking at him on my
Whatever.
feed. Levi, who feed you on? You on mine or you on his?
Hey, I love my
you,
attitude,
you gotta
Francine.
you gotta pick
Thank
one.
you.
Don't worry about it, bro.
Oh,
Just
you
keep
my
watching,
co-host?
Mom.
Don't nobody like you.
No, we love the bunny. We love the
Oh,
bunny.
he said it kisses.
We love the bunny.
Today, that's what. I mean, huh?
Well, I can't get close enough to kiss you because I'm scared you might bite me.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
exactly
so much
right.
love.
I will bite
Bite,
you.
bite.
Yeah, I know.
If you
And I don't want to be
think about
turned.
it.
I don't want to be turned. So
But Dion, we missed you.
I like being mortal, not like you. I don't mind, you know what I'm saying, the afterlife. You, on the other hand, you got issues. Thank you, sweetheart. I missed y'all too, and I hate that I couldn't come out last week. Like I said, I had some things going on, so I just couldn't make it out the house. So, I was laying around.
House or your cage?
I was laying around today, like I think I'm gonna come out tonight. It's a nice night
I'm
out.
glad you came out, man.
Yeah, thank you, man. I appreciate it. Tracy,
Mustang
what's
class
up,
of
mama?
86.
Yeah, 86.
So is it one of those like big
Here we
pit
go.
bull
Here we
cages
go.
that you sleep in? I mean,
It's the same can you got. It's the
like
same can you got. I saw
pit
yours
bull
and I was like,
Mustang.
you know what? That's pretty slick. You know what I'm saying? So,
so
you
got
know,
the big
relax.
bull
What's up, mama?
cage.
Yeah, man.
Jolinda, JoJo, hey, how you doing, sweetie?
So what's the update with the campaign?
Yes,
How was your
another Morgan
week?
Park alumni.
Well, I mean, y'all want to get an update?
Yeah, let's
yeah.
just get
All right,
some
update.
update.
Jump right on in.
All right,
All right.
the next Congressman, Tracy Jennings, Morgan Park alumni
Illinois.
class of 86.
7th Congressional
Running
District.
for 7th Congressional District. He's trying to unseat my Uncle Danny.
Bye-bye. It's a new sheriff in town.
New family. We got to let the other family. We got to
See,
let
you
my
got
brother get in
visitors.
office. So let's
They're
go.
coming.
Okay, we just finished first quarter. We had an outstanding first quarter.
Okay.
We have started our school tour.
Oh, Ebony is our other
Tell you
co-host
what's
from
up.
Detroit,
So
you guys.
there are 195 public and charter schools in the district. So we started that. We visited multiple workforce
What's happening?
organizations, those organizations that are helping people find jobs. One of the things that we have a problem with among African Americans in our district, our unemployment rate is almost 5 times the national average. So we're about 17%, and the national average is about 3.8. So we're trying to deal with that. Also the recidivism. Our district has a very high recidivism. But we had a very good time the first quarter. We're getting ready to start visiting our CAPS meetings. There are 6 districts within the 7th district. So District 2, District 7, District 9, 10, 11, and District
Shelby,
15 of the Chicago
what's
Police
going on,
Department
sweetheart?
falls within the Illinois 7th Congressional District.
Okay.
Wow, I know you're excited about
Thank
that
you.
one.
Yeah,
Thank you.
so
Appreciate
just
it,
going
sweetie.
around the district and, just
Yeah,
meeting
what's
all
up,
of the
bro?
people and talking to people and just
Shan,
really,
what's up, mama?
we feel we're offering something different, I'm an independent, and an independent has not won this seat in 147 years.
Wow.
Wow.
So since 1873, Alexander Campbell was the last person to win this seat. So, what I hear out there is just, we need something different. We need a whole new way of looking at our political system. You got 2/3 of the people who are unplugged. Even though they're registered to vote, they've unplugged. Because what's happening is, it's like taking the same soup and just putting it in a different bowl. And then over time, you can fool a child. You put it so good, but after a while they're gonna catch on. And that's what you're seeing. People have just finally said, you know what, we're tired of it. But I would encourage people, as we get ready to walk the district, we have 597 precincts in this district. So we're going to be walking all 597 starting this June. So going door to door, getting back to the basics
Miss
of really
Bullock, how you doing, sweetie?
touching voters. So that's what I'm excited about.
Okay.
You know what? That's one of the things, if I can, for a second. Last week, and I said this, but nobody read my comment. But
Yeah, we ignore it.
Hey, Chrisella.
I know, Christine, you have a problem reading.
What's up,
but
Miguel?
we ain't gonna talk about that.
You
on
know,
the
you
radio.
gonna get up off my cousin.
Hey,
Tell him one more
look,
time.
hey,
You
look,
gonna get
Tell
up
him one
off
more
my
time.
cousin.
I'm gonna
Don't
tell you
let
one thing. I got room for one more if you
Oh,
keep
come
going.
on.
I got room for one
Come
more. You know
on.
what I'm
You
saying? I
don't
got
want
room
this
for all I
You don't
need.
want this.
Settle down.
Anyway,
Settle down.
anyway,
Please, let's get off Facebook Live. That's how people get
if-
called.
if-
Exactly.
if nothing else, you know what I appreciate
Pastor
about
Tim.
Tracy is that he is a fresh face and he is well informed. That's the one thing that I really do like, you know what I'm saying? And not to say that others aren't, but
Gotta get him.
you know, when you get into the politics of Illinois and Cook County or whatever, is status quo for the most part. So to have a fresh face and a fresh way of thinking and somebody who can, in my opinion, connect more with the people, man, I think that's a winning combination too, you know. So
Well, I appreciate that because what we have right now is a monopoly. And if this was a business,
Hey,
the
Sister
ironic
Cheryl.
part about this, if this was a business, the government would be trying to break it up.
Oh,
You
definitely.
have Elizabeth Warren running around the country saying we need to break up Amazon. Well, who breaks up if a political party is a monopoly?
right.
So for
Right.
70 straight years, the Democratic Party has held this seat uninterrupted. You can't get better without competition. That's just impossible. LeBron will tell you that. Michael Jordan will tell you that. It was in practice where they got better. And so all we're trying to do is say, hey, we need a better voice. We need for the people to stop saying the lesser of two evils. Or
But-
and so that's the direction that I feel will bring that 2/3 back into our political process.
But as an independent, and you stated that it's been
47 years.
147 years.
Yeah.
And there hasn't been an independent in a seat in 147 years.
Mm-hmm.
What do you have different than the people besides your research,
What's going
besides
on,
your
Lisa?
knowledge,
How you
besides
doing,
what
sweetie?
else can you offer the people of the Congressional 7th District? Because an independent has not been in
Sure.
that seat in 147
Ron,
years.
Ron, what's up,
Well,
bro?
that's a great question. The
G Speech,
problem
what's up, player?
is that
Hey,
most
Roulette.
people won't take the challenge. So
Hey,
there haven't
Tara.
been independents running. So I want to be clear of that. So most people look at the daunting task. How can you go up against the political machine? If you start talking to people who are into politics, they're going to tell you need goo gobs of money and you got to
Right.
know this person. But one thing I've always prided myself on and have been able to accomplish in my life, I'll listen to what you have to say, but I do
Angela.
believe that
Welcome aboard, sweetie.
if you have a will, there's a way.
There's
And
definitely a way.
one of the
Should we get
things
work?
that we're getting ready to kick off, we're literally going to compete in all 597 precincts by
Okay.
doing it the old-fashioned way, knocking on doors and meeting people directly.
And that's
So-
how my girl Stephanie Coleman just
Yeah.
won
Happy
16
birthday,
award
Stephanie.
Yeah.
Her birthday's Saturday.
What's going on, brother Tony? So that's what
Well,
we
that's what
bring.
she did. She
That's
was
what we
at-
bring different.
Yeah.
You know, right now most political
Ooh,
candidates,
thank you, Roulette.
all
I love you.
all they're doing
Hey,
is
Sandra.
waiting 2 weeks before the election.
Ooh, Roulette got
You
me
might
some
get something in your
macaroni and
mail
cheese. I'm
saying
sorry, I'm
vote
in
for
my
me,
moment. I
or
got some
something
macaroni and
bashing
cheese.
the person that they're
Hey,
running
Sharon.
against, but they never actually took the time to get to know their constituents.
Right.
And so we're going to walk the district this year, and we're going to turn around and walk the district again next year. So all this will be captured, on social media. So each day we're going to be updating you. I'm excited about this.
And
This,
I'm excited for you.
Yeah.
And you got a platform here anytime on Candid Talk Radio, intellectualradio.com. Anytime
Thank
you
you.
want to, we
Hey,
just
what's
really
going on, Brother
made you
Bill?
our other co-host. He just don't know it yet, but we really have. So,
Right here, so welcome aboard. So Malcolm
welcome
says
aboard,
that Chicago
yes.
has a new mayor, a black woman, so that
Hey,
pretty much was
Sister
a change.
Leslie.
Mhm.
So therefore, you being an independent that's running, I think that's amazing.
Well, thank you.
I think that you have a lot to bring to the table. That was my first time meeting you last week, and I'm like, you got my attention. Not only did you get my attention in the political aspect, you got my attention with the knowledge, the resources that I forgot my paper and pen, but you also got my attention on the ministry side.
Okay.
So
Right.
that's definitely two. And you have some people that
Yes.
say, well, how do you
Yes.
mix politics and ministry
And
together?
ministry,
Mhm.
yes.
How do you mix that together?
Because James Meek, Senator Meek, took a big hit on that.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I once again, being an independent gives you the freedom to only have to deal with your
Fred, what's up,
constituents. When you actually
Mr. Lee.
become part of a
Welcome
party,
aboard, sir.
there are rules, there are guidelines that you have to kind of conform to.
Mm-hmm.
So the separation, I've always worked as a pastor. In fact, just until last November, I was a public service administrator for the state of Illinois. So there's a way.
I'm sorry, did they hire somebody in your spot?
I don't know.
Well, listen,
I'm waiting to
something
get them out
I'm
before I
doing.
get my resume. Listen. Because they got it at 947,000.
671.
Yes.
You got it.
Hey!
You got it. You
They
got
got
it.
that much money.
They got that much
Yeah.
money for salary people.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I got my resume ready.
So I just believe it's being organized. It's really understanding, what each role is.
Right.
But you did mention there is a spiritual component that we are missing,
Mm-hmm.
in our communities. And, I'm not going to be afraid to say that. I think a lot of people
Thank
don't
you, sir.
want to talk about that. But, that aspect
what's
of
going
it,
on, bro?
how we raise our children, how we interact with one another. Me and Chris from the same neighborhood, everybody knew everybody.
Yeah, we knew everybody.
Everybody.
Yeah.
And so and that's not that long ago. I think we really, because of what we see, we think, well, neighborhoods can't go back to that. No, yes, they can.
I believe they can.
And they can. So I just bring a researcher.
Charlie, what's
I
up, bro?
bring someone who has a public
Tony,
service
what's going
heart.
on?
So if you don't have a heart for people, if you don't have a heart to see things change, then what you'll do, you'll acquiesce as soon as you get in there,
Yeah.
because it'll become more about how can I stay in here.
Don,
Right.
what's going
This
on,
isn't
mama?
this isn't about me. This is about really giving the people here in the 7th Congressional District a real opportunity to say, wow, we never had a choice. Basically, you hear it all the time, the lesser of two evils, or, horrible or terrible, but, and that's unacceptable. So we're really going to be challenging people as we start walking. Everybody that's out there, come join us. When I'm in your precinct, when I'm in your ward, I want you to come join me, because the Illinois 7th Congressional District touches 22 of the 50 wards in the city of
Trying to tell
Chicago.
nephew or
Wow.
son,
So,
what's up?
you know,
Give me
it's
call.
a big-
Give me a call,
big,
man.
available
big
anytime
area,
you
yeah.
sign
Yeah.
the word.
So what is your biggest challenge now?
Sharice, what's going
There's
on?
really, you know, just name
Thank you for
recognition,
checking in.
getting out there and meeting people. One thing about it, once I come face to face with people, I normally can win them, you know,
Yeah, he won me. Trying to say
because that's, you know, when they see the genuineness,
I talked
when
to
they
her
really
yesterday,
see
Tony, I'm going over
about,
there
you know,
tomorrow.
what
So
you
I'll
care
be there
about,
tomorrow.
and then having that platform, you know, the 4 points that we're looking at, because the thing is, you can't do everything when you
Right.
get elected to Congress. But our educational system, we have to put our focus on that. We need our criminal justice system reformed. We need for our veterans to be taken better care. I'm a veteran, and it's far too many
Me too.
homeless veterans, and it's far too many veterans that have mental issues that are
Struggling,
not
yeah.
being.
We talked about that the
yeah.
last time.
We did
So,
talk
yeah.
about the veterans. I mean, I'm not a veteran. You know, I was going to the service. I was going to the Marines actually because their uniforms is cute, girl. That was all I was going to.
Right now,
Nevertheless,
Don, we was talking
as
about,
soon as the
guy
nail would've
Tracy
broke.
Jennings is running for
Oh my
Congress
God, my
for the
nail broke.
7th District in 2020.
Nevertheless,
So he talking about
it's
his
very
platform and stuff
disheartening
like that. Ron,
to
what's up,
see
bro?
so many veterans on the side of the expressway
Yes.
or
Yes.
downtown
Yeah.
with a
Yes.
sign saying they're veteran.
Yes.
The other thing the veterans have a problem with is that it takes them months to get a doctor's appointment.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You have fought for our country.
Yes.
You have seen families get killed. You have things have blown up
Yes.
right by you.
Yes.
And this is what you come back home and this is all you got.
Yeah.
Right, so I shout out to all of the veterans.
Yes.
who
All
All of the veterans, thank you for
Yeah,
your
yeah.
My,
service.
my
Thank
brother,
you.
my brother
Thank you.
was a veteran. You know, I have uncles that was a
Uncles.
veteran, and it
Yeah.
disturbs me greatly.
Yeah.
And if I don't give anybody else anything, and I'm one of them people that I look. A lot of them will have them dog tags still on.
Mhm.
If you got them dog tags, I don't hesitate to give you something out of my pocket. It may be my last $10, $15 or whatever, but I'm gonna give it to you because you're the reason why I'm free here where
That's
I'm
right.
at.
That's
And
right.
I don't have to worry about nobody coming here because
That's
of
right.
everything that you've done while you was on that line fighting for United States of
She sound
America.
like she ready to preach. Like she got some
No,
stuff
I'm
down up in
I'm just
there
saying,
ready to come out.
it does. It's a subject that really
Trace.
upsets me
Right.
when
But-
I see people
But
and the government don't care.
But that's the thing is why have we allowed these things to go on for
Yes.
so long?
I think
And-
because people feel like they don't have a voice.
But that's the whole thing. Listen, the two political parties, and like I said, I have, you know, the party structure. People within them are good people.
Hey, Brother
But
Washington.
we got to understand that special interest drives our politics. What is special interest? These are all these major corporations
Kim,
who
hey,
hire
hey,
lobbyists who
Yeah.
actually then write bills,
bills.
give them to the members of Congress because they then funneled money into them to basically pass a law that's going to benefit their company
Their
so they
company.
can make billions and billions. And now we're getting into the trillions. So until
Madison,
our
what's up,
voice,
bro?
you know, this is a government of the people, by the people. And until we start speaking up and say, hold on, that's unacceptable. That's what we want to bring to light. We want people to understand.
Hey,
Right now,
bro.
what I'm doing, I'm interviewing. That's what a campaign is. A campaign is an interview. So I'm interviewing, I'm going around, I'm talking to people, I'm saying, hey, you know what? Give me your support. So now I get elected. You now should be holding me to what I talked about on the campaign. You should be holding me to what my job description is. But what normally happens, we go back into our everyday lives, and it allows
Yes, what's
people
To
to
get
wind
caught up
up
in
just doing what they want to do.
Yeah.
And that's what I know. Listen, I know what I'm getting ready to do. This is a heavy lift, you know, to try to do this as an independent
Severe, what's
in
up,
Cook
bro?
County.
And Cook County,
And, you
yeah.
know, all Democrat. I believe you. I know. But, you know, any good thing that has happened in life, you know, that has made a major shift, you know, it took someone that had courage to step out and say, you know what, I'm not going to just go with the status quo. I'm going to actually step out. You think about it, when Dr. King stepped out, you know, there were a lot of people, what's funny to me, people love to rewrite history. But there were
Yes.
lots of people that lined up against Dr. King.
Oh,
Because
definitely.
they were like, you know what? Yeah, I understand what you're saying, but you know, the cost of you actually actually doing it, it's going to cost lives and all of these types of things.
That's what my nephew
You know.
said, that he wanted to get into the politics, but it probably will cost him his life.
Well,
So he just
it all,
said,
like I
you know,
said, it all depends. This is not something that I'm just doing on my own. You know, in August of 16, I really believe I heard the voice of the Lord that told me to do this. And then when I asked Congress, first of all, I said, well, I'm an independent. How am I going to do this? I mean, this is, I don't,
Well,
you know.
the voice spoke.
Well,
You
but-
showed
but-
me.
I already told you.
but then again,
what you got to
That's
do.
Exactly.
Bro.
So the scripture
How
that
you
he led
doing,
me to
man?
was Gideon. You know, Gideon actually took on 10,000 men with 300. And yet and still that 300 never once had to lay a hand on them because of God's mercy and God's grace that was on them.
Well,
So, you
one
know,
mama.
you just, you know, so you just have to be willing to go. And there's another one, just from a secular standpoint, I think about what Master P did. Master P went to all the major record labels. They wanted all his rights.
Right.
You know, his man. He was like, "No, I'm not giving up my artistry."
Right.
He sold 100,000 albums out of his trunk.
Yeah.
Out of his
He had a
trunk.
willpower. Say, I
And
gotta
see,
do this.
And so that's where
He
you
was
really have
hungry.
to. You have to be willing to say, you know what, I'm a grind. You know, one
Mm.
thing I know how to do. If I don't know how to do nothing else, this come from Southside. Southside here, y'all. We know how to grind. We're not afraid of work. We're not afraid of hard work. We're not
Right.
afraid of getting up
Hey,
every day
Apostle
and going at it. So that's what I bring to the table.
Hey, Mr.
Well, Pastor
one of
Tim
my
Smooth says
supervisors.
the government has even taken our benefits away without explanation. Do you guys
My
want
lady said it.
benefits?
Well, veterans, of course. You know, but once again, who is there fighting? What's going on, Frat? Who is there fighting for us? See, when it's only one team, you know, what have we been taught when we're on a team? Never what? Bash your other
That's
team,
right.
right?
Work
Right.
together.
Never, always don't say this. So
Yeah.
now, if it's only one team, we can't get better. Cause you're really not gonna tell me, going back to the old way of saying things, you ain't gonna tell me my slip is hanging because we're on the same team.
Same team, right?
So this is why even when we have some of the problems that have been perpetuated in the city of Chicago for decades now, think about it. What elected official can you name right now that's been an advocate against this gun violence? I mean, this not
man.
community
Yeah.
activists.
Yeah.
I'm talking about an elected official
Well,
that put
even
it
the
out there.
community activists that are out there, it's only for media attention.
It-
There's
but-
it's
but-
not
but-
a
true,
sincere
true,
thing
but
that they're
what I'm
doing,
saying,
so-
who name one elected official that we can readily say they lay it on the line every day about these things.
Hey, Sonya,
Yeah,
Sonya.
you
And I want you to think about
You
that.
can't think of
And see,
one.
that right there should
Yeah.
tell you a lot of these people have selfish motives.
Yes.
And they're not willing to put themselves out there, because if you start standing up and say, hold on, how is it that we can get people speeding, you know, going through a red
Red
light,
light.
But we can't
but
catch
somehow
them
we cannot catch these people who do these
Shooting
drive-bys
each
and
other,
shoot.
yeah.
Somehow all we get the description is it was a dark SUV.
Right,
Right.
right.
You know,
Or
that's
Grand
the
Prix.
or then the police will say, well, it's gang related.
Yeah.
Well, how do you know?
That's
Right.
true.
How do you know? I'm going to just start a conspiracy theory right now. What if there's someone, y'all remember the movie Mr. Brooks? If you haven't seen it, go check it
Yeah,
out.
yeah.
This man had an appetite for killing.
Yeah.
He didn't know, he killed people he didn't know, because that way
I
none
just
could be
watched
linked
that
back.
the other day, man.
What
I just
about if
watched
somebody's
that.
coming into our communities,
That was on cable. You know
shooting
you wanna
up,
watch that.
you know, and then driving out?
Yeah, that's true, man.
I mean, I'm just saying. I mean, you know,
Just because you can start it,
Because
just because you can say that.
Because
Yeah,
if you
yeah.
know,
You're not
okay,
gonna
so
get
say,
Yeah.
well, I'm not gonna be the one that they gonna look for, because they're
Yeah.
gonna just write it off as gang related.
Yeah.
Related, yeah.
And so we have to begin to say, hold on, why aren't people?
Think about it.
Yeah,
You know what's so funny though? Now that you mentioned that, and I mean,
What's
you
up,
know,
Ken?
Conspiracy theory. If you go back to "Don't be a menace while drinking your juice in the hood," if you go back to the scene where they were in the liquor store and he shot up the liquor store. And he said, "Why did you shoot him?" He's like, "That wasn't me." And there was the white guy over there. He's
Right.
like,
That was a
"It's the
conspiracy,
man.
right.
He's
Right.
good." You know
Right.
what I'm saying? It's
Right.
just, just on
What's
the
up,
in the
Brother
mindset
Melvin?
of what you were saying. You know, I mean,
I don't know where my wife at, y'all. She new to this stuff too. She done text me talking about, "You live yet?" So if anybody out there,
Wow.
Chrisella, if you still on there, please tell your friend that I'm live. I'm on the campaign Facebook
Right,
page,
right.
not
You're looking
on.
for your
Not on- she might be on
you
your
only got
Switch
two,
your
so
stuff
I
on there.
mean,
You
if it ain't on one, your
gotta
number
be
sit there. Come on now.
Right.
You know what I'm
Now,
saying?
what I
Everybody
find
know.
very interesting,
Ansel, what's up,
where
bro?
as a country, you know, everyone say that America is a well put together country, but if you go to Capitol Hill, for instance, you have Democrats on one side, Republicans on one side. Republican is their building is like 2 blocks from the Democrats. They don't even eat lunch together.
Mm-hmm.
The only time they come together is doing a hearing.
Right.
They won't even.
Yeah, they don't.
How do
they
you
don't,
not even break bread with each
Yeah,
other?
yeah.
Well, that's one of the things that we definitely want to change. As a veteran,
I
there's
asked
a-
that question when I
there's
was
a
there, and they
military
said-
caucus. In
They
fact,
said no.
that military caucus brings people from both sides of the aisle, and they meet once a month. to actually introduce bipartisan legislation.
I've never seen that.
You know, and I know,
Hey,
but
Miss Stewart,
because
how you doing?
what has happened over our country, we have a lot of self-interest people in our politics now. Giving you a statistic from in 1969.
I mean, bring my dog.
All right, you
No.
got your pad. In
I mean,
1960,
we keep forgetting. We know we gotta have a
Right.
pad when
in,
Tracy comes here.
in 1969,
Wasn't born yet.
75% of the Congress were veterans. 75%. And these were people who honored public service. Hey, baby, my wife finally came up. These were people who honored
Hey, sis.
public service. Today, only
Lord, what's going
19%
on?
of the members
Twin,
of
what's up,
Congress
bro?
are veterans.
But did you know
And
also
so-
that there was no Democrats? Everybody was a Republican at one time.
Well, no, if you go back and
If you go all the way back,
Well, what
everybody
do you-
was considered a Republican. They were not. There was Democrats did not come about until the 1800s.
oh yeah, well, if you're going all the way back to
Well,
the
yeah, I go
Federalists
all the way
and
back, yeah. I went all the way. My research
right,
go
if
all the
you
way
go-
back.
was there.
Right, the first
She
two
was
parties
there.
were the Federalists and Republicans.
Yeah.
So, and then that's how they brought it up. But special interests actually built the political parties.
Right.
So even George Washington and James Madison warned against political parties because they
Parties,
knew
exactly.
that eventually, especially with only two, most democracies around the world actually have 5, 6, even 7 different parties.
Yeah.
So what winds up happening, they're forced to work together because there's no majority.
Mm-hmm.
But now we only have 2 choices. Think about that. Go to a grocery store and you got 2 items you got to pick from every time.
Ooh.
Every time.
Ooh,
You know?
yeah.
So you got after a while, you're just gonna start
Twin,
disconnecting.
what's up, bro?
You're gonna just be like, you know what? It's the same soup. It's a different bowl. So we are doing something, and I know a lot of young people, especially when I talk to young people. The first thing they say, when I say independent, they face go up because they like finally somebody. Yes, it's gonna be a heavy lift. I know it is, but that's okay. I've been told all my life what I couldn't do,
Yeah.
all my life,
Yeah.
and yet and still when it's done. Then we all say, y'all church folk. We say what? But God.
3 of us are Satan down here.
but what's up, Jason?
We gonna
man?
let him in the kingdom. We gonna let him in.
But
We
see,
gotta love
that's
on
that's
him.
what you have to
Get
be
my
willing to
bless oil
do.
out of my purse.
Is to be uncomfortable. If you
Right.
really want change, you got to be uncomfortable.
You have to be uncomfortable.
That's it's not gonna just come just because I want this to happen. No. So I'm gonna log. We already have estimate. I'm gonna log over 1,000 miles walking my district. Because as you go up and down the streets, up and down the street, up and down. Oh, we gonna listen. We gonna do it fun. We gonna chart our steps. We gonna show you how many miles we've been walking, and just to show people too that it's not impossible. The first thing they tell you is, oh, you need all this money. Yeah, money is good, but guess what? Time. Going door to door is better than anything you can do.
That's true.
And so we're just going to do that. And the doors that we can't knock on, obviously condos and some apartment building, we'll be sending things to them. But then we'll be posting up in their ward, say on that Saturday, say, hey, I'll be over here if you want to come and meet me. Obviously I can't walk into your building because you live in a condominium.
So if anyone out there that want to be a part of
Yes. What's going on, Frat? George Wilson. Hey, what's going on, buddy?
your campaign, what do they have to do?
All they have to do is go to Tracy Jennings Congress.com. It's a form on there if you want to get involved with our campaign. You can follow us on Facebook. You can follow us on Instagram, Twitter. I'm up on LinkedIn. And it's openings. So I do have openings for jobs right now. And the first, hold on. The first thing I tell people, I said, it's each opening that we have has a job description with it. Now, the reality of it is that right now, our campaign is just getting started. So a lot of these are going to be time that
Hey,
people
Lauren.
have to volunteer. As we move along, and those people have shown dedication to what we're doing, when funds start coming in, those people are going to be compensated. But the first thing that people, and I always test that. People say, well, are you paying? Listen, some things in life you just gotta
You just
be
gotta
willing
do.
to be a part of. As y'all know, all the volunteering work the
Yeah.
Eastern Stars do.
Yes.
You don't, ain't nobody asking for
Shout
no
out
money.
to
in that.
Lydia, chapter number 1, my sisters, my
I done
ODS.
worked her up. So.
Well,
But,
it
got some good
is
sisters.
it is a thing with because I've worked campaigns and where they want you to volunteer and then you volunteer your time and you dedicate it, you're out there, but then when the say for instance they lose the campaign, they ghost. So that's why I think a lot of people ask
Sure,
ahead of time
sure.
because you
Bro,
do have
sure.
people ghost. I
Welcome
mean, I had
aboard,
someone
Mama.
just
How you
telling me
doing?
that per week will ghost them on some money.
Wow.
And
Right.
I could believe it because she was doing it during the campaign.
Wow.
So-
but see, those are things too. You know, if you're coming aboard, make sure you're getting things in writing.
In writing.
Make sure you get it in writing. So now y'all
As a
hear me.
witness.
You're hearing me as a candidate. I'm not gonna tell you I'm gonna do something and then don't do it. So
Right.
you have to get that stuff in writing.
Yeah.
You know, and then hold people to it. So that's what I'll tell people right now. They say, well, you know,
Hey,
are you
Carol.
paying? I said I wouldn't really call it paying. It might be more of a stipend. Or if you're doing something, so somebody's doing a specific task, that might be we'll pay you for that task. But until we get monies coming in,
Right.
you know, then how are we going to pay people? You know, so we have to keep that in mind too as we move forward. But, you know, if we got people out there that's willing to get down now, you know, I'm going to tell you, you know, this is going to be something, this is going to be history making here, you know? And somebody asked me, well, you know, doing this as an independent, why would you do it as an independent? Why did Barack Obama run for president? You know, we had never had a black president.
Yeah.
So he had the audacity of hope to say, you know what, I can get this done. And so I just feel that, especially at the congressional level and down, there's really no reason when you think about it. Most towns,
Oh, Big P,
you know,
what's up, bro?
most towns don't even declare a party. In the town of Westchester, village of Westchester, when you run for office, you don't declare a party.
Okay.
So, you know, if we think about it, if there was no parties, what would we be doing? We would be looking for the person with the what? The most qualifications,
Right.
the one that, and that's all we're trying to do is get people to say, hey, let's reassess how we look at politics.
So when you have, how many persons would your campaign hold for you to hire or volunteer? How many volunteers? Right now, volunteers are unlimited. Correct?
Yeah.
Where's your office?
My office is at 300 North LaSalle, downtown.
Oh, you're downtown. You're
Yeah.
actually downtown.
Yeah.
Oh, he got some money, y'all. He got downtown space.
Right.
He got downtown space. No,
We're not, you know, we're not paupers.
right. But I'm just saying.
We're investing
Yeah.
because how can I ask you to invest if I'm not going to invest?
Yeah, that's true.
So right there, I always tell people, I said, if I'm not willing to put skin in the game, how can I expect you to do it?
Right.
So, but we're down now. Once we actually start our campaign off, that's my administrative office. Once next year, once we actually get our campaign office, then that'll be
bro.
somewhere in the district.
So do you know who's potentially running against you? Because I think I only know of one person running against you.
I don't know. I don't really at this
Yeah.
point. I'm not concerned. No one's declared.
Yeah.
I'm the only one, besides obviously the incumbent that's there. But I'm the one that officially have declared.
Right,
And-
but
and-
it is
and-
another.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you
Yeah,
who he is
yeah.
once we get off air.
It's a couple of people that have been,
Well,
you know.
as far as I know, this is the only person that's,
Okay.
and that's because he had been mentored
Mentored.
by the incumbent, so, and
Yeah.
been for years.
Yeah.
So he's
9
been,
years chief of staff.
He's been preparing him, yeah.
Well,
He's
we'll
been
see.
preparing himself.
One thing I always do, I really don't, you know, concentrate on that.
And that's what I was about to tell you,
Yeah.
because he's not well liked.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, yeah.
But I'm going to tell you, when we're able to draw a distinct line, sometimes you'll hear a Democrat or you'll hear a Republican say, oh, I'm an independent Democrat or I'm an independent Republican.
Right,
That's just political talk, y'all.
yeah.
I am truly an independent. So look at me out there. I am truly an independent. And I have no bones about it. I'm not in the closet about it.
Hey,
I'm not
Nicole.
trying to fool people to make them think I'm a Democrat because I'm in Cook County.
Right.
And some people even told me
Hey,
that. They said, well, you know, maybe you should, you know, just kind of pretend that you. No, that's
No.
dishonest.
No.
Be
And I'm
honest,
not gonna
be
do
who
that.
you are,
Hey,
be
what's
who
up,
you
bro?
are, and
Exactly.
be honest.
Exactly. I'd rather
That's the winner
Exactly.
right there, who can be honest and
hate
be
it for
he
who
is.
I am than love for who I'm not.
Right.
Exactly.
You know, and
So-
so with that, I think just giving these fresh ideas, when you know, you think about some of the problems we've had for decades.
Just a platform we
And
talk about,
and
you know,
what do
comes
you
to
do
mind.
if
Thursday
nothing
night,
is getting
7
done?
o'clock
Think
on
about that.
intellectualradio.com.
At some point in
Don't
time,
forget to
you have to
tune
go in a different
If
direction.
I'm here, I'm
You
gonna
just
be
have to.
live, So,
So even
you
if
know, we
even
pick
if
topic,
the incumbent, say the
subject,
incumbent
here,
is not going
and
to run,
we let it ride.
now the
My
party's
man,
going to want to put somebody right back in there to do the same thing.
Yeah,
So
for
it
next
still
year.
doesn't benefit
So
us.
he
Right.
So
you know,
that's what I believe when we take this message right to the
Dad.
people.
Brittany, hey,
Watch
sweetie,
what's
how
gonna
are
happen.
you?
Another Morgan Parker
Because-
alumni class of '85.
What we ought to do is
Live.
do a poll to say how many of y'all just won't even listen to somebody if they're not a Democrat. How about that?
Did y'all hear
You
that?
know, did y'all hear that? So you know, you got some people, and if you don't want to even listen, then you're called an ideologue. You know,
Scott,
where you
what's going on,
just
bro?
simply won't even listen. If you're not a Democrat, if you're not a Republican, then you're an ideologue. You can't even look at a person and say, you know what, that's a good idea.
How's that
You know,
weather in Florida?
but if you don't want to do that, then you're what's called an ideologue. Most people are not ideologues. In fact, 42% of all Americans now have identified themselves as independent. So that's more than Democrats. That's more than Republicans. So it's only a matter of time before independents are going to start winning these seats.
They said we love political talk. We need to get down to the nitty gritty.
Hey, Tracy.
That's more than important for you.
Tracy, Paul said he'll run against you, so you'll be guaranteed to win.
What's up, Paul? All right. Hey, they started all of this. I'm just.
Yeah,
Well, I know I did. I did.
Yeah, I know y'all. See, the thing about our viewers is they listen. They want the relationship gossip.
Who slept with my
Yeah,
baby
who
daddy?
slept? Yeah, that's
Oh,
the thing
well,
you look
I'm
at
sorry, I don't
for.
have nothing.
Yeah,
Tracy-
I'm
No, but you gotta work for
saying.
it.
Tracy got a lot of interesting things that our community needs to know about and needs to come to terms. We got people. See, Tony Holmes said good stuff. Thank you, Tony.
Hey, thanks, Tony.
So,
That's
me,
straight
you were
class
making-
A.
all you
Well, you
ratchet
know-
people texting me wanting to ratchet
What's
stuff.
going on?
Yeah,
He's educating us about improving the community, so therefore your ratchet people can choose the better men. Go get your good baby daddies and want to get jobs. Now volunteer, get their hands dirty, become accountable, responsible.
Right.
accountability. He's
Right.
teaching you so we're gonna do education first half and ratchet.
You have a balance here.
Perfect balance. There you go.
So I'll check out at the 30-minute mark when all the ratchet is done.
Oh,
Use yourself
All right, I'll be like, all right.
Yeah.
So Tracy comes in for the 30-minute political, and I'll see you guys next week.
No,
And then
you gotta
it
sit
just
in on
me.
ratchet
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
See,
All right.
some of these
You gonna
people
draw
need
them in.
some people need blessed oil thrown on the phone. So
you'll be able to draw me
Okay,
in.
well
You'll draw me in.
let's talk. I mean, I can chime in on a variety of conversations.
definitely. Okay. So yeah, we got several. I done had so many stories, like so many texts, and I just, we've been doing other things, and I've been not here or late getting here or whatever have you. But interesting enough, a young lady friend of mine was she was
Girl, that was not me.
she was living with this guy because her lease was up, and he was supposedly her friend. And
Oh, okay.
she went to sleep on the couch because that's where she slept at. He tried to attack her in her sleep. She got him off of her and everything, and she went running out of the condo or whatever have you. But she left only with her purse and her shoes.
That's a lie.
Can I finish?
Okay, sorry.
So nevertheless, she had clothes at her daughter's house or some crap like that. And so she went to a formal function, and he came there with another young lady, but wearing her clothes
Oh, wow.
and carrying one of her purses.
So
Wow.
what's the issue? Because she's friend.
But it's her
It's
stuff.
her
He
clothes,
won't let
though.
her get her stuff. He won't let her come in and get her things out. She's then got the police involved and everything. She just wants her
She
stuff.
abandoned the lease. When you abandon
Well,
the
no,
lease.
she wasn't on the
she
lease.
She wasn't on the
She was
lease.
never
She
on
was
the
staying
lease.
with
She
him.
was there, right.
Because
Right.
he offered her a place when her lease was up.
She left. When she left all things behind.
Yeah.
She don't get nothing back. Sorry.
Somebody try to rape you and you not finna say, oh, by the way, let me stop and get my
So
clothes.
The cop should have been
Did they
called.
charged her? Did they?
They're going to court for it right now. She
Oh, okay.
restraining order and everything. So when she went back to get some of her stuff, he had thrown it away.
Oh, wow.
And this individual has very expensive stuff. So he claimed he threw it away, but like I said, the woman came in with one of her
Ran
outfits
her
on.
outfits, yeah.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
So he
Wow.
wrapped it up and gave it to her.
I don't know.
I'm pretty sure he did. Like, hey,
But at the
Right.
end of the day,
You know.
how do you go about, this was your friend, or so
Well, it
you
wasn't-
thought was your
yeah,
friend,
that's
And
what I was about to
obviously-
say. That's
you know,
not
and
a
then you
friend.
attack
Hey,
your
Miss
friend.
Adams, how you
So
doing?
what do you,
That's not a friend.
you know?
That
And
definitely
I
not a
told her, I
friend.
said, listen, if the clothes and stuff that's important to you, you file a
But
civil
she-
suit against them.
Right,
I said,
but-
if not, let it
just let
go,
that go.
and
Yeah.
God gonna bless
How
you
long
with
have they been
something
friends?
else. I don't think it's been very long, to be
Corey, what's up,
honest.
bro?
Maybe about 6 or 7 months.
Well, see, yeah, and you know, we got to be
Greg,
careful
what's
too.
up,
And she's such a beautiful,
Yeah,
she's a very,
that-
very beautiful
That you,
woman.
hey, there go my cousin.
So-
Hey, cuz.
Well, allow me to apologize for prejudging.
She's like,
But
that's
the
a
way,
lie.
that's
Right, right, right,
but the
right.
way
So
that it
that's
came
straight
out,
down
like,
the road.
that's like, it's some missing links in there, you know?
No, he tried to attack her while she was asleep on the
But
couch.
you know, that's
And she
Try to hear
she
that.
barely 105 pounds soaking wet.
Oh,
So you
wow.
could just
But,
imagine. And
yeah.
he's like 6. You know, she need him in his private places and
wow.
everything else to get away from
That's
him.
sad,
But
man.
Yeah,
That's sad.
I mean,
it was like he had been. She said after she really thinks about it, she said she knows she's woke up a couple of times and saw him staring at her while she was asleep.
well, that was pretty
Look,
creepy.
let me
there,
tell you
too.
that.
That's
Wait,
right
no.
there. You
Wait,
right
wait,
there.
you staring at me while
Yeah, you
I'm
know,
asleep.
some of the stuff.
I'm gonna have a knife under my pillow the next night, and
No,
you
no,
know,
no,
my
no.
gun.
Next night. It's-
Son, it won't be right.
But-
Technically, it won't be a next night.
Right.
So you know, I told her just let the stuff go.
Yeah.
Especially
But she was like, "It's my furs, it's my purses, it's
Well,
my."
but
That's
but,
all
but she-
materialistic.
but right,
And
she has her
something
life.
worse could have happened
Right,
to you.
exactly.
Yeah, definitely.
So that I would just.
So she
give
said
her-
I was wrong for saying that, and I'm like, I'm not wrong. I'll talk about it on my show because I know I'm not wrong.
Right.
It's materialistic
Right.
things.
Yeah,
You can let
yeah,
that
you
go.
gotta
let
let
that
that
go.
go. Yeah, you
That
gotta
can
let
be
that go.
replaced.
Yeah.
That's what's
No.
wrong with
Yeah.
women. They
Yeah.
get with these guys that's wrong and that want to buy them the world. It's materialistic, and then the next thing you know, they beating your butt.
Yeah, he is a creep.
You know,
Yeah.
that's
I love
it's crazy.
him. I don't even know where to go.
I'm gonna tell you right now, I'd rather go to behind Sam's, get me a box and a couple of milk crates, and find me a blanket. I'm gonna build me a tent.
Oh, we go to the
I'm
bar.
gonna give
But
me a
I mean,
Folgers
you know,
can. I'm
I-
gonna give me a couple of pieces of charcoal. Y'all ever tried that? You
Now-
light that
now-
charcoal up under the Folger
now,
can.
let-
You
you
got
to
you.
that, Chris. but
Let me
no,
let me
yeah,
throw
right.
this out there.
I learned that at camp.
Yeah, I
Let me
know.
throw this out there, Chris.
Camp.
Now you said she has all these expensive things, furs and all that,
Yeah.
but she didn't have a place to stay.
That's what I said.
Right.
She could have sold a few of them furs and got her. a
That's
car.
what I
mean,
said.
so
So I just think it's some
Her
some links
priorities
in
was
this.
messed up.
Yeah.
But
That's
you
what
know
got me
what?
to
When
stop.
you were a rich man's wife, then you got a divorce and you took all your belongings with you.
well,
But still, you
and
need a
then-
place to stay
Yeah,
above
right.
anything.
She did, but then she broke up with the next person.
okay, well then.
It
And-
sounds like it's a pattern.
Well,
It-
no,
it-
he ended up being the crackhead. But you know,
Oh,
she
Lord,
broke up with
boy.
that person.
She got
So I think she has a bad choice in men, but she really honestly thought that this guy was her friend because she did tell me how many times that this guy was her. He's so nice, he's so sweet. I'm like, watch him, you
You
don't know
gotta be
him.
careful
That's
with
just
that.
me.
Yeah, yeah, you gotta be careful.
Hey,
But
Pastor
the thing is, hey,
Yeah.
Celicia, how
But
you doing, sweetie?
I would just say that, you know, for that she does need to reassess,
Just let it go.
you know, her values.
Yes.
Because if it means me keeping a fur coat or a roof over my head,
I gotta give up the coat.
The coat got to
That
go.
coat gonna be
obvious.
gonna be over my little tent.
right? I mean,
That's
right.
gonna be
So
my
that's
tent.
just that's not even. But unfortunately, as we know, there are a lot of people who tie their worth to
It's a
stuff.
To belong
material,
in
it's a
there.
materialistic
It's
stuff,
thing.
and,
Yeah.
and they will stay in bad relationships.
Yeah.
They will take all types of abuse because when I walk out, girl, I'm getting into a
I'm good,
range. I got
No.
this and that, and it's not worth
You
it.
know the
No.
thing.
You know, God bless people the way that He bless people. Sometimes He gives you your trials and tribulations for you to learn.
Sure.
And He will give you
Sure.
several trials and tribulations because, hey,
Sure.
you're not getting it.
Right.
I keep showing you over and
Right,
over,
and
and
you
you're
keep-
not getting it
Exactly.
because you don't want to get it because you're so impressed with what someone can buy you
Yeah.
or what someone can give you.
Well,
My daddy always told me, you work hard
Yeah.
for what you need, not for what you need, not for what you want.
Mm-hmm.
But for what you need. You always take care of your needs
Right.
before you take care of your wants.
Right.
Sure.
But you got a lot of, I mean, and it's, I can't say it's easy to fall into it because I was so protected
Mm-hmm.
that I couldn't fall into the little realm of, oh, he got my nails done. Ooh,
Mm-hmm.
it's like, girl, really? I got my own nails and hair done. What you mean?
Well, and then
But
like
you have people like that.
like you said, I mean, you know, my daughter is 24, and she's daddy's baby.
Mm-hmm.
And any, you know, I've always told her that, you know, you don't need to ask anyone for anything,
Yeah.
you know, because I'm here for you. And then when that time comes for me to give her away, then
Mm-hmm.
I'll gladly give her away to that man that
Right.
can take care of that.
Right.
But she can always still come back to daddy.
Well, once she's married, then no, she can't get to
That's right.
Yes,
because
she
no, because that would have to work through her husband.
Yeah.
Because
yeah.
I'm not gonna get involved in, you know, I'm going to respect that their relationship.
Right, I'm not saying that, but I'm saying it's
I thought you meant
no.
she jack up money, then call me and be like,
no,
Daddy.
that's not what I'm saying.
Oh, okay.
No.
Well, no, she's always my baby.
Right, exactly.
Yeah,
Well, you
always.
know, here's the thing. I mean, just looking at it from a little bit broader
Right, yeah.
spectrum.
let's
I
try
can
to-
understand how people get caught up in that. You know what I'm saying? You get spoiled and you get used to one way of life. So that's all you. If that's all you know, then I can understand it. My thing is, Glenn, what's up, bro? The thing is, at some point you have to understand, especially when you're going through a divorce, that okay, it's time for me to reorganize.
Mm-hmm.
It's time for me to, get my stuff in order so I don't have to worry about that. Now again, if this is all I'm used to, then let me figure out how I can stay on this level. And if it don't work out, then you have to be humble enough to say, all right, well, look, this ain't gonna work out for me, so let me break it all the way down and then build myself back up. And no matter how long it takes, 2, 5, 10 years, then at least I have a game plan and I can work
Right.
toward it. A lot of people, what happens is exactly, they, oh, well, look, I got fur coats my first year, so I got to get fur coats every year. I got to get, 3 or 4 a year.
Right.
And even after, that man or that woman or whoever has gone from your life, they don't know how to get away from that. They don't know
Right.
how to break it down, and that's the crazy part about it.
I mean, my first
George,
husband,
what's up,
we had
bro?
our own company, but to me, it wasn't about the materialistic things, because it was just like I was so used to doing for myself that it was hard for me to, when he would buy me something, like he gave me a wedding ring, it was simple, I was happy because it's a token of your love.
Thank you,
So like maybe a year or two after we got married, he went out and bought me this huge wedding set, and I'm like, I don't want that, because I was happy with what I had. That doesn't make it better because you come bringing me a bigger ring. You understand what I'm saying? And so I, being who I am, was like, I took it back.
Did you tell him?
Yeah.
Okay.
I told him I was taking it back because I said I didn't want it, and I literally came back home, and he paid cash for it, and I literally gave him the cash back for the ring. Now I was a little upset because we just started off with the company and it was building, and for him to have spent that much money. So what did he do next? He goes out and buy me an Audi 5000. This is in the 90s. Chris didn't learn how to drive until Chris was like 24, 25 years old.
Jesus.
So I did not know how to drive. Did you never think to say, that's why I'm like, take me to the store?
So he didn't know you couldn't.
He
drive?
did not know that I could drive.
Well, that should have been something that should have
drive.
been approached maybe before y'all got married. I mean, I don't understand.
No, he
y'all
never asked.
Date and marry, and I don't know you don't drive.
Because he was a gentleman. He always picked me up.
Yeah, you
I
still
get it, but I
drive.
mean-
Hey, Mom.
My wife is a she drives all day long, right? But somehow when we're together, she doesn't know how to drive.
Automatically.
You know?
Because
So-
men are supposed to drive.
See?
Men are supposed to
I
drive.
watched-
My
what's
My
going on,
father
sir?
always,
What's
my
up? What's
father
happening?
drove my mother
Right.
everywhere.
Right, but my wife does drive.
I don't mind
Yeah.
driving. I don't mind driving. I was just talking to my son on the way over here. We're going down to New Orleans at the end of June,
Did you check with your probation
and
officer first?
and so
It's not on Thursday.
he said you got a case coming up, so he's gonna be busy with you. Jeff, what's up, bro? So my thing was initially when my wife and I talked about it, she said we fly, but when we just revisited this about a month ago, she's like, yeah, I ain't got no problem driving down there. And instantaneously, I was like, oh, you ain't got no problem me driving
Right,
down there.
just
You know what
ride
I'm saying?
down there.
That's right, yeah. You know what I'm saying? I ride
Hey,
shotgun
man.
all the way there.
Yeah, man,
And
that's
again,
how
I
you
don't
ride on
mind
the
driving for the
passenger
most part, but every
Yeah.
now and then, you know what I'm saying, we get tired. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
We don't feel like driving every now and then. So
Well, I drive. Like when me and my husband go on trips, I have no problem.
Yeah, my wife-
My husband's looking tired.
What's
Hey,
up,
babe,
Elliot?
pull over and I'll take it in.
Yeah.
Or I'll start off driving. I'm a night driver, so if you put me on the road
yeah,
at night,
yeah.
Chris is getting down. You wake up and it's the sun bright.
That
is not
He
gonna
always
work.
accused
That's
me.
what you do.
He always accused me like you were speeding. We shouldn't have been this far up. Yeah, but
Daniel,
I
what's
didn't
up,
get
bro?
caught. That's all you should be concerned
right,
about is that I
until you
did
get
not
caught.
get caught.
Right, right.
So,
I don't do
but
night
no,
drive.
I don't let my husband drive. I literally will drive. I don't get in and honestly think, oh well, he's supposed to drive because he's the man. Even though that's what my dad did with my mom, because there were plenty of times my dad was driving and I knew my dad was tired.
Antoinette.
But
up, how's your
Barbara
man?
Jean can't drive though.
Oh, your mother
Oh,
can drive?
no, but my mother will tell you she can drive. And I'm like, yeah, lady, come on, take my car out. Let me see you. My mother cannot
Come to
drive.
think of it, I've never
You've
seen your
never
mother drive.
seen my
Yeah,
mother drive, but
yeah.
let her tell you she can drive.
Okay.
No, lady, you can't.
Wow.
You gonna do what you always do. Get in the passenger seat and let one of us take you.
Okay.
And then go
But
down
no,
with the traffic.
I don't have a problem. See, when you married, you supposed to be that helpmate. So whether we in a car driving or not, I'm going to make sure that I'm always there to help my husband. Like, you know, a lot of times he'll be like, "No, I got it. I'm
Tell
gonna
him,
drive."
bro,
And
what's going
no,
on
you're
with you?
tired. Let me
Right.
drive.
Well, when we
You
drove
know?
to Miami, we drove from here to Atlanta, spent the night, and then drove. It was this was when my son graduated from high school, so we knew this was probably one of the last family vacations.
Right.
So we said, well, instead of flying, we're just gonna spend
Well,
time in
what's
the
up,
car.
bro?
Oh,
Yeah,
that was
family
so
time.
sweet.
Yeah, definitely. And that's how we do, man.
Yeah.
We've driven to Florida a few
Yeah,
times, and
yeah.
you know, down in
Yeah.
Atlanta and stuff like
Yeah.
that. So it is a good way
It
to
is.
bond.
It
You know what I'm
really
saying, with
is.
each
It
other and
is.
stuff
So-
like that. It's cool. So I don't have a
Because
problem
now
with
they-
that.
Now, see,
Yeah.
now the bonding part we don't do
Well,
because
see.
he sleep.
Most families
Oh,
don't
really?
live about
He
We-
I let him
now, when
sleep
we
because
ride,
I know he's
we
tired.
don't even have the radio on most of the time. Me and my wife talk for just hours.
Yeah.
Either I'm
Wow.
reading a
Vina,
book
what's
or
going
I'm
on,
talking,
bro?
but he don't kind of see. He one of them
Chillin',
people
bro.
that way when he drive, I'm hitting
Lavina,
brakes.
Thanks for checking
Oh,
Or
in.
I'm
okay.
grabbing
Oh,
grabbing
okay.
onto something because
Oh.
my husband will be on the phone and he'll drive up on something. I'm like,
Oh,
Lord,
oh,
Jesus.
Man, what's up,
There
bro?
have
Wonder
been
why
ti-
you drive.
right. The one there's been
It's all
times
good, Elliot.
there's
All
been
good,
times
bro.
where I literally done crawled out the front seat over to the seat and then the back. Like, yeah, if you
Oh,
can't
wow.
shoot, at least I'm in the back. You know,
Oh, wow.
one of us got to survive to tell the story.
Right.
That's what I always say.
That's what I say too. I say
Right,
the
one
same
of us
thing.
got to
Right,
survive
yeah,
to tell the
yeah.
story. But he
Right.
swear he's not a bad driver. And I'm like, you get up on people and don't let him be on the phone with somebody from the lodge and it's something done wrong and I'm like,
Yeah, you
yeah, but
got
you
it.
see they hitting
What's
their
up,
brakes.
Frat?
I'm like, you know, babe, they hit brakes. Brake lights.
Antonio,
You know.
what's up,
Yeah.
bro?
But you know, again, when you marry, you're
Yes,
supposed
sir,
to be a
bro. Got
helpmate.
Mustangs all over the
In
place,
all
bro.
aspects of the relationship, you're
Well, yeah.
supposed to be a helpmate.
Well, yeah.
And a lot of times we get a little caught up in life where we
Spoiled.
don't and spoiled because just a little bit. You get so spoiled in life that you don't pay attention to like you're not really being that helpmate that you should be. I'm guilty of it.
And that's a topic that I
Most
think
women are.
we really do need to explore because
you have to.
you know, so many times, you know, me and my wife have been a couple for 28 years. We'll be married 26 in
I was
September.
only one when y'all got married.
And so, okay.
Glad to hear that, sweetheart.
But you know,
Hey, Mama
that's
J.
we do have roles, and people don't want to hear that today.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
You
had a
know.
question because I know
Sure.
I want to Takara. I want to say what they always have these conversations,
Cousin,
White
Sharon,
duties,
what's going on?
right?
Nobody
So-
can to you.
What is the definition from a man's point of view? What is the wife duties?
There's
Scott,
really,
what's up,
you
bro?
know, I always say that should be you should sit down as a couple and really lay out
And
where
work
your
that out.
strengths
Yeah.
are. Because to blanket and say you cook or I cut the grass or I don't think that's how
That's
it
not
goes.
fair.
That's
It's not fair.
Yeah, because some people, you know, I know a lot of men who cook all the dinners.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so I just think it's
Yeah.
couple by couple. You know, and I always say that communication, you really need to
It's key.
to talk those things out. You know, we have our roles. I handle everything on the outside of the
What's
house.
up, bro?
Don't you touch my grass. I don't want nobody touching it. I edge it. I do everything.
Okay.
Now, the landscaping, I do have a company come in and take care of my landscape, you know, but the cutting of the grass, how I do all that's me. And then my wife, we just work together because we both are very, very, like, neat people. So it just works for us. You
Yeah.
know,
See, now
so.
me and my husband the opposite. I'm the neat, and he's just like wherever it comes off at, that's where it
Okay.
goes. So I don't even go down like into his TV room because
They
it's
know
a,
it's sign duty.
it's a
right.
it's a disaster.
It's an open discussion.
Well,
You
you-
play to your
like
strength. There
with
you
me
go.
and
That's
my
right, Ellie.
ex-husband,
That's
if
what
I
make
it work,
cooked,
man.
he washed dishes
Okay.
and took out the garbage.
So it goes back to pretty
You
much
know,
that
it was-
communication.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So
Because
you have some these
well,
women.
see, my wife has a way of tricking me into doing things. She'll talk to the dog, and she'll say,
it always
"Charlie
works.
Brown, you know this garbage really needs to go out."
Uh-huh.
And
She
so,
said
you know,
Charlie
that's
Brown.
real. That's my dog name actually.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, Charlie Brown. So
Okay.
and so this is just a little game we played for years, and I'm like, okay, man, I'm gonna take the garbage out, and she's like, oh, okay, you know. So it's just, you know, but
Yeah.
it works for us, you know.
Yeah.
But we used to have when we were young in our marriage, we used to actually have weekly communication meetings, and so when the kids were small, okay, what is it that you need me to do? and then we will revisit it at the end of the week. Did I hit those points?
Right.
We really and
I think that is a
That's
good
good.
exercise.
Yeah,
that actually
Relationships.
works for us. And we even when we counsel people now, we tell them because think about it, especially if you're rearing children. You know,
what's going on?
you know, I need you to
Aisha.
pick the your daughter up on Wednesday. You know, let's talk about those things.
Right.
Then we would come back and say, how did I do? What did I miss? And it kept those lines of communication open.
So
That's
how
wonderful,
often did
man.
you guys do that when it comes
We,
to
we would
communication
meet on
skills?
Sunday night to lay out the
Week, yeah.
and then on Friday night we would
Hey, Chris
recap
Jackson.
to say what did we do, did we hit all our points, and then it
You
just
got
worked
too
for
far.
us.
So if you met your point or she met all her points, was there rewards?
Oh, we would always. I mean, when the kids were smaller, you know, we would have a assigned Saturday. So, you know, it was 4 of us. I have 2 children. So each person get to pick what they wanted to do on that Saturday. So whatever restaurant, whatever. So and then that's how we did it until they got to be junior high school.
Yeah,
Yeah.
then
And
they didn't
then
want
all
to
of a
hang
sudden
with
they
y'all no
don't
more.
wanna hang
Yeah.
with us no more.
Y'all old now, you know
So
what I'm
how long have you
saying?
been
Right.
counseling couples?
Well, I've been a pastor it'll be 16 years in November, but I've been ordained since 2001.
Okay.
And I've been preaching since 97.
Okay.
So, but counseling, I mean, I've married 38 couples so far.
Are they still alive?
She said I'm alive.
Are they still together? Hey, are they still together?
Most are.
Okay.
Most are. You're not gonna, you know, because there are some people when you're counseling them, they don't want to look at facts. So what we
Yeah.
try to do
Number one reason
is
why
I
they
try to
divorce.
counsel you at least over a 6-month period, because you know people, we don't never argue and stop all that, because you're gonna have a disagreement.
Yeah,
absolutely.
So,
They really ain't no argument.
so we try to work through things. We try to help people with their finances, because that's a big issue. Blended families, those are big issues. So actually, I'm getting ready to do a marriage retreat. Shout out to my boy Sheldon Walker. We're going to
Sheldon, what's up,
Gatlinburg,
bro?
Tennessee.
I want to go,
You shoulda
but
came.
it was like last minute when
Yeah,
I
you shoulda
saw
came.
it.
Yeah, we're
Because
doing
that's coming
it.
up in a couple of weeks,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, we're going to be down there.
Who get married?
Oh no, it's a marriage retreat.
Oh, okay.
And
They
Oh,
have
yeah, that's right.
very
Yeah,
good-
that's
and
right.
I-
Yeah, that's
and
right. I saw
Angie
that.
said it was
Yeah.
off the
I saw that.
chain.
Yeah,
And
I saw
was
that.
just like,
I did
oh.
see that. I see
We
that.
I really
we
wanted
had
to
a-
go this
He
year.
sent me an invitation too.
But yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
we want to keep doing it, make it bigger. But
Maybe
we
I
got
can fit in y'all
Thank
luggage
you,
or
I
something.
appreciate it.
we got
Good, man.
we got a
Something for you
cabin
too,
and it
bro.
holds 14 couples.
Yeah.
So everybody has their own private
Oh, wow.
suite.
So you did
I
it last
did.
year
Yeah,
then?
yeah,
Okay, see,
yeah.
I didn't realize that you and
Yeah.
Cynthia were the
Yeah,
ones who.
yeah, we don't.
I gotta get there.
Y'all
I
had
gotta
pictures,
get there.
didn't y'all? That was supposed to be. Yeah, I remember.
All I know is
seeing that.
Angie
Yeah, I
B
remember
said
seeing
it
Yeah,
was the
Angie
best.
was there.
It was
Yeah.
the
Because
best.
what
She
we
said
do,
she got
we
so much insightful.
yeah, we counsel
Yeah.
differently than what I used to.
Mhm.
And so what we really do is put it on
I'm
the
getting that,
couple.
bro.
You know,
So,
we
but
got to
sure,
put
bro, I
this on you.
appreciate it, man.
We used to do marriage retreats and we'll have all this literature, and then at the end of the retreat, you see all the people that left the literature. I said, we done
Yes, sir.
so
Thank
what
you,
we
man.
do now, we give you the tools, and then it means more when you invest in your own
Oh,
now.
Exactly.
There you go.
It means more that way.
Yeah.
Than me
Exactly.
giving it to you and you put it in the bag. Thanks for the bag. Then the bag goes in the trunk and you never
And your
bring it out.
papers is flying
See,
down the
but-
highway,
but-
right?
but a lot of
That's good.
couples where they mess up, for me, where I see it at is where they mess up, because a lot of people come to me and Tony, so we're supposed to be doing the marriage counseling at our church, but a lot of people where they mess up at is the communication skills.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They
definitely.
don't know how to communicate
Because
with each other.
there's communication and there's effective communication.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? We could talk to each other all day, every day.
Right.
But if you're not hearing me, or if I'm not hearing you,
Right.
then it means nothing. And
Right.
then at the end of the week or whenever we come
Right.
back, you know what I'm saying? I don't remember what you said. You don't remember what I said. Then that means that I'm not effective in what I'm saying. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
I actually had to get to the point. My wife would say things, and I said, "Babe, can you email me that so I can follow up?" Because and I had this not too long ago. She was like, "Do you be listening to me?" and I actually
get
had
that all
to
the time,
stop, and
too,
I was
yeah.
like, and I said, and it kind of scared me. And at first, I was like, "Did we actually talk about this?"
Right.
She said, "Babe, I said, you know what? I am so sorry." And babe, have I been doing better? Okay, she said so.
So,
because-
and that's me, because my husband say to
Soak
me,
it all up,
Chris,
baby.
are
Soak
you
it all up.
are you listening to
Eventually you will
me?
be.
And I'm
Yeah.
just like,
And then
yeah, but we
she
said-
also says, my wife says that the way you communicate changes with the different seasons of life.
yeah.
So because now
B,
I
what's up,
really
bro?
when she
How you
told
doing,
me,
man?
she was like, I was like, we actually had a conversation. She was like, we talked about this. You commented on it. I was like, oh my God. I
Wow.
said, so what she'll do, she'll send me an
Darren,
email
what's up,
or
bro?
send me a
Thank
text
you, man.
message, be like, per our
Brother Lee,
conversation.
Yeah.
Right.
And
I
so,
would tell
so
Tony to
whatever,
start
so
doing
whatever,
that,
so
yeah.
whatever it does to help that,
Right.
because if you have a certain type of personality, my mind's going.
Yeah.
So I'm listening, but at the same time, am I really listening? And so I don't want to, have a situation where she's saying things and I'm just like blowing it off,
Yeah.
and it wasn't many things, but this one thing, it was something that was pretty serious, and she was like, we talked about that, you got, and I was like, oh my God.
Right.
So, and I had to admit it in front of the church. I said, listen, y'all, and that way you hold yourself accountable.
Yeah, definitely, and that's what it's about, holding yourself accountable.
I just
man,
think with
so.
me, like I'm, and you can attest to this. I'm on the go so much, and I might have had the conversation and just
Yeah.
don't recall it because I'm
Absolutely.
always my mind is on.
You didn't
I
tell
got
me
a
that.
million
You didn't
people.
say that.
I got a
You
million
did this.
people coming at me with
Yeah.
different things,
Right.
and I'm listening to like for my chapter, it's 21. I'm listening to the 20 other women
Right.
coming to me with
Well,
all these
7 more
different
that's
things,
coming in. That's
and then
28.
in all of my upper houses, I'm listening to all this stuff.
Oh, y'all!
coming.
I meant to
So-
say, y'all know y'all can join me on April 27th, y'all chapter, and come out to Franklin Park and help me clean it up.
We're doing something
Y'all
on
doing something on
27
Earth
on
Day?
Earth Day. That's
Yeah,
the 20th.
y'all doing something?
Yeah, we're
Okay,
doing something
y'all
in the
gotcha.
we're in the
So-
city. We're at Sherwood Park
Okay.
on the 20th.
All right.
But what I'm saying
Hey,
is
Brianna.
it all. Hey, Kelly
Oh,
Walker.
y'all at Sherwood.
Yeah, we're
Good,
at Sherwood Park.
good.
So the thing is that
We're at
it is
Franklin.
about effective communication. And honestly, people, he can tell me
Lawrence, what's
something,
up, bro?
and now I have the habit of when he does tell me something, especially if it's something that he negates that's very important, I write it down.
Okay.
And I
Yeah,
put it in my phone
whatever-
on the calendar so it can
right,
pop back
right,
up for me.
right,
Because
right.
I don't want him to think that
You're not
I'm
listening.
not listening
Right.
to him.
Right.
And
Well, I
that's
share
it,
my
that's
calendar
it.
now with my wife.
Yeah.
And I make sure she's included, and that way she can put things on her calendar.
Right.
Because I don't want to be like, oh, you
Kelly,
going
can I come
X
to the
place,
marriage retreat for
and
free?
then she like,
I
you didn't
got
tell
a
me about it till
Groupon.
this morning.
So you do the marriage retreat every year?
This is our second year.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's a beautiful
So,
place where
yeah.
they go in
Oh,
yeah, it
Galvesburg.
is.
I've
Yeah,
never
you
been,
never
but
been
I've
to
seen
Gal-
the,
that was my
I've seen
first
the
time
pictures,
going.
and it's absolutely
Yeah, it is
wonderful.
gorgeous down
What's
there.
going
I
on,
see the
Walker?
pictures. It's-
Kelly
it's-
need to
yeah,
sponsor
it's
me.
gorgeous.
I got a group. Can I get a Groupon
you know,
price
they
one
should,
back?
you
Now,
know,
what
Pay
about
for
the
one and get
single
one free.
ladies? The single people, though.
Well, we have different things for singles as well.
Okay.
But I always tell like the singles is part of our church. I always say, listen, I'm
Hey,
not single,
Charmaine.
so y'all have
Welcome
to
to
tell me,
Candid
okay,
Talk
what is
Radio.
it that y'all are interested in, and that way we can start talking about those things. Now I can help prep you for marriage.
But is it
You
a
know.
single? Are you single if you've really been with somebody? How long y'all been together?
Wow.
You do know this is live,
Right.
It's live. I just want her to have
This
some.
is live.
I just want her to have some
Oh,
accountability.
I am held accountable.
Oh, my
That's- I want her to
I
have
was
some
just talking about the ones that
Gracious,
single
man.
people. What about the single people?
Well, are you single if you've been together
Right,
18?
I'm around a lot of single women.
What clarifies you as single?
Right.
Takara's single.
We talking about you,
Ooh.
What that mean? I'm not married,
but you might as well be.
but I'm not married.
But you might.
So y'all common law, is that what it is?
Illinois don't have a common
Okay,
law.
oh well. So you single then, that's what it is. You single
She
but
not
taking.
single.
She's single but taking, that's what it is.
That's what it is. Single but
This
taken.
is not the show, Tasha, right? We just having.
Well, that's
Hey,
what
well,
I
you
You
said.
asked me about
Hey,
single stuff,
yes.
and I didn't.
single women out
Tasha,
there.
like really, like Kelly, man. Kelly does a lot of things. You know what I'm saying? Not just for married couples. He has a lot of events.
He has a
and stuff.
lot of great
He has
things.
He has
He
a
does a lot
Super
of
Bowl
events.
party
Yeah.
every year down there in
Yeah.
Tennessee.
Okay.
I ain't
I think
going
at
to
the
He
do
got a
same
white
time.
party up here in July
Yeah,
that he has
yeah,
on the boat.
yeah.
Yeah, he does
You
a
ain't
lot of
you ain't
fantastic
getting me in
things.
Gatlinburg in the winter. I can tell you
Oh
that.
man,
no.
not up in the
Mountains,
mountains,
I
man.
don't
Not
need
up in the
no mountains
mountains.
in
No,
no
bro. So, but I mean,
So-
it's just those kinds of things. There's a
Gather
lot of stuff
couples
going
retreat.
on. You know what I
Focus
mean?
on
He got a
blended
lot of
family.
stuff going on.
What time
so.
is it, you guys?
You
We've
know,
been just
So
starting.
wrapping
it's
it
10
up,
after 8.
wrapping it up.
Yeah,
8:09. Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
Well,
you
you
guys
guys, we're
was
gonna go ahead and
Hey.
wrap this up. We
Thank you, Lavina.
see you guys next week.
All right.
Tasha,
I'll
you
be-
got no
hey,
parting
Thank
words.
y'all for tuning in.
Thank
I'm gonna
you, I
put it up
appreciate it.
next week before we come on. So y'all have a good one.
Yeah,
Thanks.
we'll post. Now that I'm back online, y'all, I know how to do it now. Everybody can tune in, not just Morgan Park
wanna
people like
tune
it's been
in.
last month. So we'll get it together. So,
All right. Have a good one, everybody.
Y'all take care.
Bye.
All right,
See you
bye-bye.
later.
We are
Happy
Candid
Thursday.
Talk Radio on intellectualradio.com. Thank you. Together, couple.